Steve,
Yeah,
I think we won't able to do live in X or Twitter.
that's okay.
Okay.
And when you send the link to Tamla and Randy, did you send the share or is it the
I included the link
which link did you share?
from here, StreamYard.
It says view, share with viewer.
Invite guests.
Oh, okay. She says she joined something, but she's not here. Okay, let me do something. All right, welcome and to our live deal makers meetup, and we're gonna get started shortly in just a few minutes. I just want to give a quick introduction of Real Estate IQ, the host organization. We are a community of deal finders and deal makers, and we have a slew of products that can help you find and win deals. Our anchor product is the off-market leads, where we mine updated and fresh motivated sellers, so you can market and reach out to them and buy it directly from these owners. We also have a slew of other programs and new programs too that are not here. If you're interested, go ahead and visit our website at www.realestateiq.co. All right. Disclaimer for this meetup: all the information presented is of the opinion of the presenter. It's for educational purposes. We don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice. And just a quick reminder: if you have a deal and you want to close the deal, you need help closing the deal, you can submit your deal to me. And there are tons of experienced real estate investors and deal makers that are in our community, such as Tamla, who is our host as well today. And we're going to help you close the deal and give you advice and walk you along the way. So our host today is yours truly, and also Tamla. Tamla has over 20 years of experience in real estate. Let's invite her on stage here. And she has been a real estate investor and entrepreneur. I have personally learned a lot from Tamla, just doing some of these deals together. And we're actually going to be sharing some of the case studies with you today. So our agenda today is we already did our quick intro. Then we're going to move on to our market update and case studies. This is going to be a recurring kind of agenda every week on Thursday. So make sure you stay tuned to this event. It's kind of a new link to join us every week, just so that we can use this StreamYard platform. We really love this platform. It can help us stream, live stream and broadcast to multiple platforms. The issue is even if this is like a recurring event, we have to kind of keep signing up for every single meeting. And we promise that the content is going to be new and exciting and interesting, as we're going to follow the progress of the different deals that we are actively doing right now, along with the new deals that we're adding to the pipeline. So you can kind of really see what it's like as a real estate investor to work on these deals and kind of analyze different strategy, maybe some challenge and setback that comes along the way, and how do we kind of overcome it, or maybe join in on the struggle as well, right? It's not always dandy every day, but I think it's also the mindset of being resilient and kind of going at it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next agenda item. We're gonna talk about Tamla, and welcome. Good to see you.
Hello, it's good to be here.
And we're gonna talk about our a case study. And today we prepare a case for you. We got a couple of cases, and I think we'll kind of share one every week, and probably kind of also track the progress. So today we're gonna talk about the Thornton deal. We got a lot of photos ready, so we can tell the story. We're gonna skip the market update for this week. We're gonna focus on the case study. And Tamla, let's talk about and share the story of the Thornton deals. And I got a couple of slides here. I got some before, some during, and after, and then I also got a couple of slides that are kind of like in the same area, and the before and after. I thought that it was very striking to show those. So Thornton is a referral deal that came from one of our previous deals. And I guess we're kind of gaining the reputation in the area that, hey, we do what we say we're going to do. We're going to close the deal. We're not gonna kind of lead you blindly to somewhere and then not close. So the owner kind of heard the story from the another deal's owner that sold to us, and so they reached out to us, and we after some negotiation, we were able to close the deal. Obviously, with Tamla's kind of coaching and help as well. What do you want to add here, Tamla? Feel free to add your perspective of the story.
Well, let me start off with Steve did a fantastic job at finding this deal, and this was the first deal that he kind of put the package together, and he did a really, really good job. I want to congratulate him on that. This was like I said, this was a referral, was a home in Thornton, and we decided early on that we wanted this to be a rental property rather than a fix and flip. The home did not need a tremendous amount of work, but it needed cleaning up, just paint, needed some flooring taken out. It just needed what I call sprucing up a little bit. And as you can see the pictures here, these pictures are before. There's the house. It's all overgrown. The shrubs are overgrown. You can see a really, really pretty tree in the backyard, but it was growing up into the detached garage. And then the inside of the house had a lot of stuff in it. It had a lot of pets. This couple had a lot of pets. So I think they had 3 cats in the house. I think it was 3 or 4 dogs. I can't remember. And they also had horses in the back. This property wasn't it 2.5 acres, Steve?
Yeah, 2.2. So they have a backyard that's kind of part of that 0.2, and then the additional 2 acre where they're raising horses and ponies. When I went there, I actually met a 1-week-old pony.
Yes. And we evaluated the deal. We knew we wanted it to be a rental property at this point. We evaluated the deal, and we also looked at the possibility of splitting the house and the yard off from the other acreage, and either deciding to split that up into lots and sell the lots, or put another structure on them and rent them out, or put another structure on each one of the lots and sell them. So after visiting the deal and deciding that this would be a really good thing because of the acreage, and we did get the house at a discount, we knew it wasn't going to take much money on it, we moved forward. We closed on the home. We gave the sellers a lease back until they finished closing on their other property that they were buying, which they were there approximately a month, and then they moved out. We were very fortunate. They left the house very, very clean. That won't always happen, but this one did. And as you can see, there is a lot of stuff in this house, a lot of stuff through the pictures. And some of the floors in the house had been redone, and they were nice, pretty floors. Other parts of the house, they had a very inexpensive laminate that someone had put in several years back, and undoubtedly had gotten water on it more than once. So that was all coming apart. And we took all of that laminated flooring up. When we did that, we found beautiful wood floors that needed nothing but cleaning. And we kept the wood floors. Instead of putting other flooring in, we decided to keep the other floors. There was one room that we ended up having to put some flooring in, and the sellers were kind enough to leave the flooring that they were putting in the house there, so we didn't even have to buy flooring for that room that we had to put it in. We repainted, we cleaned up, we repainted, we trimmed up the yard. We just did a really good, thorough cleanup on the place and got it rent ready.
We cut down a couple of trees too in the backyard, right? Some of the big trees.
Yes, we did. And I consider that part of cleanup.
Mm.
The really big tree that was growing into the garage, we took that one completely down. And then there were like 5 more trees behind the garage that were rotting. They were already starting to die. So we went ahead and took those down too. And I'm going to say that the cleanup, taking out the trees and cleaning up the yard, was probably the biggest expense on this house.
And I will also share that, Tamla, one of my initial hesitation was the fact that the house is in a small town. It's got just a couple hundred people, I think.
Yeah.
It's in the outskirts of Waco, maybe 45 minutes from Waco, which is the biggest city in that area. And when we were first driving there, I was like, wow, never seen all this country before we started doing deals in the area. And I think my hesitation was, well, is it gonna get rented? Is there demand for the housing? And because Tamla is from the area and you really know the market very well, and I think that also helped. And we just kind of we took a little bit of leap of faith, on my side, to go, okay, yeah, let's, Tamla knows the area. She has all this experience, so.
And how long did it take it to rent?
Jumped on it.
Steve, how long did it take the house to rent?
Okay, so let me think. Was it March that we closed?
I think we closed in March. The couple moved out in April.
Yeah, April. And so we got it leased in August, right? Earlier this month, or was it the late end of July?
We got it. No, we got it leased the end of July, and they moved in August. We would have gotten finished with it faster, but the contractors had to finish up another job, and so did the yard cleanup crew before they could get over there and start working. So that slowed us down a little bit. But once we finished the property, we had this house leased within 10 days at full price. Because going in, I had told Steve that this area needed really good rental properties and people would pay for them if they were really nice properties. And we gave this community a really, really nice rental property.
Yeah, I want to say that one thing I that really attracted me was during my analysis, I saw that it's gonna be like above the 1% rule, which is what we want to kind of acquire rental properties at, and the fact that the property is in good shape, it doesn't need a whole lot of work. And I don't have a lot of the numbers yet. Today, I only have the photos to share with everybody.
We spent approximately. We spent a little bit over $15,000. Our initial budget was $15,000.
Yeah.
And the additional trees that they had to take down caused us to go over budget because we had not calculated that in. But so let's see, that was about $17,000 is what we spent. $17,500 was what we ended up spending on it, and hadn't got it rent ready. We were very fortunate that we didn't have to buy flooring or spend the time putting new flooring in. It was wonderful to pull the old flooring up and see that beautiful wood floor.
Is that this photo here on the left? Under the laminate?
Okay, that's the room that we did end up putting the additional flooring in that they left.
I see.
That was a converted porch. So it did not have the wood flooring under it. And what you're looking at there is you're pulling up when we're pulling up the laminate is the underlayment that was underneath the laminate.
Got it.
So now the picture to the right, I believe that's plastic that's been put over the original wood floors
Mm.
when we were painting.
So these are the during photos, and then we have after photos.
Yeah, you can see the wood flooring there, the original wood flooring.
That's all of these, right? That's all the photos that we see.
Yes, the second photo there with the fireplace in it, that's the one that's showing the original wood floors that they had covered up with that laminate. The kitchen had new flooring in it already, and we just left that because it was really pretty flooring. So the room underneath the exterior of the house, that was also the original wood floors that we kept. But the house, the first picture up there, you can see that was after we cleaned up the yard and cleaned up the shrubs and the trees and everything, what a difference it made. So once we did that, all we really had to do was pressure wash the house. We didn't have to paint the exterior of the house or anything. We just had to pressure wash it because it was a nice house. It was just dirty, very dirty. Shrubs were totally and completely overgrown in it. Wasn't attractive looking at all.
Okay, so here I got some before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see. Okay, it's at a different angle, so it's harder to see.
It is at a different angle, but you can see where the shrubs were all grown up around the house. And
Yep.
this picture was after they had mowed the yard. So
yeah, it looks pretty.
And before and after.
I love the ceiling. The ceiling that they put up there, it has gives a
Has
different
a
feel.
rustic look. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to finish the trim out around the ceiling. They had not finished the trim. So it was very rough on the edges, but we finished the trim out.
Oh
there.
yeah, I see it now. If you didn't bring it up, I wouldn't have noticed. I'm not the remodel person. Thank you. So
You're
we got so kind of the aftermath is that we got a renter in and we are gonna refinance the property out. We think we're gonna break even on that. We're gonna pay off the financing, and we'll have some equity on the property itself. And then
And we have the lots.
I'm sorry.
And we have the lots.
We have the lots. So that's our after this I have a photo of the lot.
And it's the bigger part here that we're gonna divide up into lots.
Yeah,
And
so I
we've
think
been
we're estimating some profit, by doing something with the lot, either selling it or developing on the lot.
I
Cool,
think this
okay.
turned into be a little sweet deal.
Yeah, it was so fast too, compared to
Yes.
some of the other projects. I guess maybe we'll talk about it next week. The one in Mart, this one, my wife was going, "Whoa, it's ready! It's rented already!" And everything moved a lot faster. Because I think this one we just need to get rent ready, and there's not as much work.
Correct.
Cool. So anybody have questions on the deal itself or whatnot, feel free to use the chat. You can ask more about the property itself. Anything else, Tamla, we want to share on this deal?
Well, I know that when we sit down to look at this deal, we ran our comps, so we knew that it was The ARV was good, and then we had the additional lots with it. One of the things that I asked my husband Randy, who's not on today, was to run the numbers for a DSCR loan to see if what the profit would be, because we knew we had a pretty good idea what we could rent the house for. So we needed to make sure we were going to make the profit that we wanted to before we even got into the deal. So that's a recommendation that I make too, is run the numbers both ways when you're looking to purchase something.
Yeah, we knew that going in, if we kind of execute the way we want, and the barring any crazy surprises, that we're in it for a good chunk of profit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's exciting, and it's a done deal. Thank goodness. I mean, there's still a little more that we're gonna kind of finish out, but the tenant is in. Kind of the majority of the hard work is already done.
Yes, definitely. And the work that we're planning on doing will only keep us from having some issues down the road when we have tenants in there. So we're just kind of doing some preventative maintenance work.
Mhm.
But we have our tenants in, and our tenants are paying rent. And we're getting good rent for this property.
And it's a 2-year contract too.
Yes, it is. It is.
So we have
And
good cash.
we will keep these people happy.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so that's one. We got our next piece is featuring some deals. These are some of the deals that we have available in our inventory. There are more than these 4 that I'm featuring, and so if you're interested in I guess seeing these, kind of the full inventory, or kind of seeing which deals fit your buying criteria, you need to fill out the deals program form. It's a pretty short form, and once you fill that out, we'll reach out and kind of really understand who you are as an investor buyer, and we'll match you up with the deals either we have currently in inventory or that we will have in the future. So we got 4 deals here. 2 of them are in Galveston. This is kind of set up as a multifamily, 1,700 square feet, and it's in Galveston. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and fill out the form and request to see the property. Nothing beats viewing the property yourself, and we can get it set up and share the lockbox code and all that stuff with you. Ditto for this other one. It's in San Antonio. Okay, this one's asking for a little over 100K. And then we got another one. We don't have the photos ready yet. And also in San Antonio, kind of close to the downtown area. Okay, and we got the lockbox code if you're interested in seeing the property. Oh, this is the other Galveston one. Okay. The next segment, Tamla, I wanted to actually talk about structuring the deal. And so this is a deal that that's in Dallas, and we're in talk with the owner. And so maybe we'll kind of talk a little bit about the property itself, and then there are a couple of options that I had in mind to offer to the owner. And Tamla, you suggested a different option, so let's talk about it. Let's use this time to discuss.
Okay.
So this is the property in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 4x2. It was built in 2021. The owner owes $198,000. The rental payment is $2,200. When we run the comps, it's probably between $2,100 to $2,300 in terms of rental. ARV wise, conservatively, 227 after repair value, and I put kind of two options: either a light repair to get it kind of rent ready, or a mid repair, $30 per square feet, and it'll be 54,000 ish. So if I use kind of the light repair, now we're looking at an offer of 122, which is much lower than how much is being owed. And so I go, well, is that gonna be a short sale, another short sale? Or obviously the owner can continue, another option that I was offering is, hey, you can do the repair yourself and sell it. But when I ran the numbers, there's not much profit for her to make that, even if she does want to embark on that journey of remodeling. So, so Tamara, maybe share with us kind of what your thoughts are on the third option. I wanted to talk to you about that.
Well, I suggested last night, and I saw this last night. So I have, and the first thing that just popped into my head was, how much is past due? I mean, if you can catch up on the payments and the house really doesn't need any work, I mean, maybe some paint, maybe it really doesn't need $36,000 in repairs to make it a rental property.
Right.
So work the numbers from that angle. The rental comps, now the payment saying it's $2,200 a month. And if I'm not mistaken, that's with didn't the lady get a short sale?
She
Not
got
a
a loan
short sale, but a
modification.
modification. Right. A modification for the $2,200 a month. That payment probably also includes your taxes and insurance payment, your escrows. So you're not going to have to calculate in your escrows into the 2,200. With rental comps at 2,300, you're really not making anything. But if you can pick the house up without really going out of pocket for a tremendous amount of money, because I don't know how far behind she is on her payments.
Right.
Not really having to do any work, maybe paint it, clean the carpet, then you can pick up a house for very little money. The goal in this one would be to either offer it out there for sale or rent it. First year, you may not make a tremendous amount, but the second year, you may make more. And you're holding on to, the house is only going to increase in value. Real estate will go up and down and up and down, but it almost always increases in value over the next few years. And next year, you'll be able to make a little bit more money in rent, and just keep building it up like that until you're, say something happens in the market and the interest rate changes. We're going to all hope that interest rate goes down to somewhere around the 4s again soon. At that point, get the property refinanced, and then you will be making some money. Because if I remember correctly, she's got a higher interest rate on this.
Yeah, she has a six plus,
Yeah.
which is what made the payment kind of high. Okay.
Right.
So what I need to figure out is the arrear. Kind of get a good idea of what kind of remodeling or repair it's gonna be. And then another thought I have was, I have seen cases where you can do another loan mod, right? You can modify a loan to be longer.
Yes.
Let's say you extend it to 30-year. I've heard of 40-year loans now, and reduce the payment so that it can cash flow. So I wonder if that's what you had in mind too.
Another option that sometimes the loan companies will modify is they'll reduce the payment. They'll put it on like a 30-year payment, but they'll reduce the amount that they're financed, and then they'll give you a balloon payment at the end of 30 years, which may be $20,000, $30,000 or $40,000 at the end of 30 years. But in the meantime, you can be paying against it or not. I mean, a lot of these that they do the balloon payment on, they don't charge you any interest on. So there's not really any reason to be making a payment against it.
Sure. And you the option that you're thinking, Tama, is a sub two, right? Is to take over the
Yes. This, to me, this one makes a lot more sense as a subject to.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this neighborhood. This is Steve brought this to me yesterday afternoon, so I'm not really familiar with the neighborhood. But from what I saw, everything around it was in good shape. It was in a good neighborhood. Everything around it was very well taken care of. So this could be definitely one where you could take over payments and then freshen it up a little and put it on the market, and you could probably get retail price for it. So you could flip it at that point, but you didn't put a lot of money into it to have to purchase it, and you didn't have to go through the time frame. You just called up and got them to deed the property to you.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And what would be your advice on kind of approach of the offer? Like, how would you approach it?
I would just say, can I take up the payments for you and I'll take the note over. That way you're out, you no longer have the stress of having to make the monthly payments on this property, which you are having difficulties making. And at this point, tell them what you're going to do with the property. We'll clean it up, we'll paint it, we'll do what we need to do, and then we'll rent it or we'll sell it. But let them know that we will take this property off your hands, but say it basically in a very nice, polite way, that we want to help you by catching up on your note, but we're asking you to deed the property over to us if we catch up on your note. And they may agree to that, but they may also say, okay, but I want you to get it out of my name. Okay, we can do that, but you need to give us 12 months to do this.
Mm.
So you got a balloon. You got a 12-month balloon on the house.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's a slightly different approach that from what I've been trying that hasn't worked yet. We're doing like let's do 5 or 10 years, and the sellers were not really going for that.
No, most sellers, they want out. If they're gonna carry a note, and especially if they already have a note, they really don't want that property being in their name that long. They would prefer you be out of it in 6 months, but a year gives you more than enough time to do what needs to be done to refinance the property or to sell the property.
Okay. Got it. Okay, let's see. We got some questions. Let me see here. What's our next? Okay, we are moving to the Q&A. So we got a couple of questions from the audience. Misha is asking, why wouldn't the seller rent it herself and keep it to herself?
A lot of people don't understand how to handle rental properties, and they don't want to. So if you talk to 50% of the people, they're going to say, oh no, I don't ever want a rental property. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't want to deal with tenants. I don't want to deal with collecting payments. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with having to clean up the house after they leave. Da, 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 da. So a lot of people just do not want to deal with rental property. As for me, I like rental property. So I would clean it up myself and rent it. That's what I would do if it were my property. If I owned the property, that's what I would do.
Cool. Okay. And this is a question that's about the Thornton property. Will the city let you separate the lots, or do you have to get it rezoned?
The city will allow us to separate the lots. We found this out. I called the city before we ever closed on the property to make sure that they would let us separate out the lots. So, and they were very happy to allow us to do that.
And the other question, are you hitting 1% rule with the rent? The answer
Over.
is gladly we did. And that's I think the attraction, I think, in that area where, like let's say in the bigger metro area, it's so hard to get things that would fit that 1% rule. Like we're looking at much lower than 1% rule these days.
Don't discount smaller communities. A lot of people make that mistake. Smaller communities, most of them need good rental property. So don't discount the fact that if it's a smaller community, you're not going to be able to get as much rent, or you're going to have a harder time renting the property or selling the property. Most small communities need good housing.
And what we find, another thing that we talked about, Tianla, is that because the entry is so much lower than the big metro area, that the cost of financing is just so much lower every month. Like you don't have to fork out, $3,000-$4,000 just to pay interest when
Correct.
you're putting up the house. The loan is smaller, and at the end of the day, you get a door, and then you also get your equity.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes, let me say, sometimes buying properties in a smaller community, you may have a harder time finding a lender, but there are lenders that will finance properties in smaller communities. And once you find them, they're very easy to work with. I mean, Randy has been exceptional at finding private lenders and institutional lenders that will work in much smaller communities.
Cool. So, now if you have any deals that you want us to look at, it's a good time to share that. This is kind of all I have prepared for our session today. Next week we'll have additional, more content, more updates and all that. Tamara, do you have anything you want to add or share with us?
I just want to wish everybody good real estate hunting and get those properties under contract.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is to take action. It's just don't stop taking action. There could be times where it can be frustrating. Like nothing is happening. We certainly went through a big period of that, and just like keep trying different things, and just keep doing and until you find that vein of gold, until you find something that works.
Yes. And then you're going to be very, very excited, and you won't be able to stop. You just keep on going and going and going.
So let me take this moment to share with y'all some upcoming events for this week. Okay. This evening we have a 6 p.m. Central Time. All of these are Central Time class on how to invest with none of your own money. Tomorrow morning we got a meetup on Zoom, and also a open house. And then Saturday morning, we also have another class. So if you're interested, let me share my email here, and in the future we'll start posting links on the comment section so you can join. But for now, just go ahead and send me an email. Let me know which event you wanted to join, and I will send those over to you. All right, so I think that's all we got today. Oh, another plug for Real Estate IQ. If you want to learn more about real estate investments and, finding deals and reaching out to motivate sellers, you can scan this QR code. I'll leave it up for a minute or 10 seconds. You can also request on the chat. So that's all we got. So, our advice always just take actions, execute. That's how we create our own luck. And, welcome. And we look forward to seeing you in our other events, and we'll see you also next week.
Yes.
Thank you, Tamla.
Bye.
Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.